C doesn't support strings out of the box. Strings are stored as an array of characters. When printing out characters to a screen, the printf function looks for the null character, which is \0, to know when to terminate a string. Each character is stored in 1 byte of memory. If an array of characters has 10 elements, it would occupy 10 bytes of sequential memory. If the printf statement doesn't encounter a null statement, it might continue into the next memory cell, which would not be beneficial for us since we have absolutely no idea what's stored there. So when creating a string, make sure that the array's length is the length of the string plus 1. This also brings up another frequently asked question. Why do array indices start at 0 and not at 1? To access the first element of an array, the variable that's assigned that memory address knows how to locate that memory address. It doesn't know the memory address location of the next element. What we do know is that the arrays are stored sequentially. So if we have a character array, we know that each character takes up only 1 byte of memory. Then we can say that the next character is 1 byte away from the starting point. The first element is similarly 0 bytes away from the starting point. Each index is an offset, which literally translates to the distance from the starting point. You can declare a string character array several ways, but there are 2 in C: by using the string literal or defining and populating the array manually. If you initialize a character array using the string literal, you're creating a constant and it's not changeable at that point since constants are stored in the read-only data segment. When declaring a character array and later populating it, the storage is allocated on the stack and each element is mutable. You can also store strings using the malloc function on the heap. In other programming languages like Java, the new operator is used to allocate space on the heap. What else can you do with strings in C? You need to check the string.h header file for useful function declarations. As a side note, the .h file is a header file that contains declarations. Most of the time, programmers will not give you access to view the implemented functions, but will provide you with the .h file so that you may review the declarations and useful notes on how the functions work. If you're using a Linux operating system, you can learn more about a function by typing in man function name into the terminal. The man Linux utility stands for manual. The string.h file is part of C's standard library. What's the standard library? It's just a collection of code that came pre-installed with the compiler that you downloaded or had with a Linux distribution. Another extremely useful header file is the standard io.h file that you use for your input-output, for example, printf and scanf functions. C is a very lightweight language, so it relies heavily on the standard library.